stage of a revolution is the stage where the people start to really get infuriated and realize that they must take things into their own hands. This relates to Egypt because everyone's anger towards the government was heightened when policemen had killed Khalid Mohammed said. After this incident, people's realization on how unfair they're being treated was prominent.
يا دوب كان صوت الشوية الحلوة كده وبرضك على بصي والله وأمراض يقولوا لو علمتني أنت نقلتنا وكده وكده بيفضل يقول شوفي بتعلم مش كده بص التجميل منسمين منهم عايش معمولين.
About population growth, rising consumption, and resource depletion. Their conclusion, there are limits to growth. Freedom, being with the people we love, good health and the time to enjoy it, a secure, happy community.
In a revolution, this stage would be where people call for action or change in their society. This eventually leads to the protests and strikes against the government with help from social media. This relates to Egypt because when the killing happened, it was taped by an activist named Ghonim. It was posted on his Facebook. After 2 minutes of posting the video, 300 people had joined his pages, and within 3 months he had more than 25,000 people, which led to the protests and riots of Tahrir Square.
This is Daniel Seberg in New York. It's been called the Twitter, even the Facebook revolution. Later in the week, the Egyptian government pulled the plug on the country's internet and cell phone communication. Until Friday, Egyptians enjoyed a relatively open and unfettered internet, more so than just about any other Arab country.
Social media has been the only outlet for a lot of
sharing your location. It's all about sharing your data, sharing your information, showing where you are, and of course all of that can be
The crisis stage in a revolution is the nail-biter stage, where both sides are biting their nails waiting for the turnout, whether it's complete chaos or an agreement. In Egypt's case, it's when the question of whether Mubarak will step down or not. After people learn that he has stepped down, people are still biting their nails because there are still tensions between his supporters and enemies. The recovery stage of a revolution is just like it sounds. It is the recovery of the major damages that have happened. Also, the causes of the revolution are usually discussed at this stage. In Egypt's case, the recovery stage would be when Mubarak finally steps down from office and all the damages are assessed. However, in Egypt's case, the recovery stage seems to be incomplete.
Time to protest against Morsi because he hasn't done much so far. He's not doing what is required, but they twisted it. They protested to get their way and managed to get the prosecutor sacked. They even forced people to leave the stage and they destroyed things.
From a distance, we don't even know who is who. We keep hearing slogans like "Down, down the rule of the Supreme Guide." We are not here to down the rule of the Supreme Guide. We are here because of the verdict that exonerated the killers of people who bled on this ground.
The last stage of a revolution is when everything goes back to normal. During this stage, the last changes and decisions are made. This would be the process of the renewal of the city. Our group believes that Egypt hasn't gone through the final stage of a revolution. A new president assumed office on June 30th, 2012, and people are not satisfied with him. Riots are being started and innocent people are being harmed. The war between Israel and Gaza would also affect Egypt since they are neighboring states and allies. The two countries have an agreement to not get involved with one another, so we do not know what will happen with Egypt yet, or what will be decided.
Egypt's cabinet has summoned the Israeli ambassador in Cairo because of shootings on the Israeli side of the border that led to the killing of 3 Egyptian security personnel. There are angry scenes outside the Israeli embassy in the Egyptian capital.